So for Arab-Israeli war, how did this particular war actually begin in the first place? Anti-social scientist.
Well,
Tell
yeah,
us about this.
that's a very long story. Um, Maybe it will take hours if we discuss the history of the Arab-Israeli war. So I just want to make the story short. I just start a year ago. I mean, a year before the 1948 Arab-Israeli war. Is it okay?
Hmm. Sure thing. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, we have to remember that there was a civil war between the Palestinians and the Jews in the area that is we now called Israel. This area was once considered as Mandate Palestine. It was occupied by the British after the defeat of the Ottoman Empire in World War One. So after World War One, the British took over the Holy Land or Palestine, and since they started to take over, they have this policy of divide and conquer. Because of this
Hmm.
policy on divide and conquer, the peaceful Jewish, original Jewish settlers, or I mean the original Jewish inhabitants of Palestine, um, began to have a conflict with the Arabs. One of the reasons of this conflict is because there are waves of immigration of Israeli, I mean European Jews coming from Europe. So
Right.
yes, well, we have to remember that during the defeat of the Palestinian Arabs in the civil war in 1947, it angered the Arab League. So the Arab League is actually a group of countries: Syria, Egypt. We have also Jordan,
Hmm.
and these countries essentially hated the creation of a Jewish state in Palestine. So when the Palestinians were defeated during the civil war between the Jews, at that time the British, they had a hard time managing the situation. They essentially could not do a good job in mediating the conflict. So as a
Right.
result, they handed over the problem to the United Nations, and the United Nations made a proposal for a two-state solution. Well,
Hmm.
the British probably they were so, should I say, they were playing safe. They washed their hands like Pontius Pilate. They said, okay, we get out of this problem. Let's bring this problem to the United Nations. And the United Nations said, okay, let's divide this land, Palestinian and Israeli or Jewish. But unfortunately, the Palestinian Arabs disagree with it, and as well as the Arab neighbors of Palestine, they disagree with it. So by the time in May 14, 1948, that was the announcement of the creation of the State of Israel. Many Arabs were angry about that, and the day after, that's the time that the British left Palestine. That's when the Arab neighbors, the Arab League, invaded Israel, or the new state of Israel, and that's the start
Hmm.
of the Arab-Israeli war.
Wow. British was like, oh, fuck it, I can't fix this problem. Hey, UN, can you fix this problem for me?
Yeah, that's right.